As an important spin on the law of attraction, I also want to bring up the subject of psychic vampires. We all know the myth about the vampires who suck blood from their victims and make them into vampires as well. Although there is some truth to this myth, it can also be seen as a metaphor. The worst vampires you can imagine are not necessarily those who suck your blood, but those who suck your energy. We have all encountered them, and it's always traumatic when we do. I have been aware of the existence of such people since I was young and used to avoid them when I could, after have had a few quite horrible encounters with them. They are not large in numbers, perhaps 5 to 8% of the whole population, but the damage they do to their environment is so devastating that it seems like they are larger in number. Michael Tsarian is a researcher like myself, and he once wrote quite a short, but very down-to-the-point article about psychic vampirism. When I have encountered people in my life lately who seem to have a problem with one or more of these vampires, I always give them a copy of this article, and so far it has always blown their minds and helped them in their process of turning a bad situation around. Once they have recognized it for what it is, most people are then willing to take steps to disconnect from such people, or if a family member, be able to come up with ideas to handle their own unique situation. The article is so short that I am going to post it here for the reader's convenience. I hope it will help some who are in this situation. Vampirism. How much do you know about the people you think you know? Do your emotional attachments to people blind you to their real natures? And if so, how much? Person A becomes dependent on others under the name of love. Person B makes others dependent upon them under the name of love. Person C does both. Person D does neither. There is no gadget or meter to know when a potential psychic or energy vamp is sucking you dry. The only way to tell you are under attack are: feel like shit for no reason. Life starts to suck for no reason. Constant anxiety for no reason. Health suffers, energy is down for no reason. You're depressed and feelings of futility abound for no reason. Bad dreams for no reason. Bad attitude for no reason. Attracting obstacles for no reason. Getting suspicious for no reason. Begin to doubt yourself, your God, your destiny, your fate, your sanity, for no reason, oh yes, and you think it's all your own fault. Well, maybe it is, and maybe there is something else to learn. Yes, there is no physical meter with a dial that goes to the red when you're being drained and dumped on by others. But there is one kind of meter that has been with us from the beginning. The human intuition backed up by arts like vibrational kinesiology and with a healthy dose of reason and emotional intelligence. It may all start making sense. It had better, 'cause they don't all live in Transylvania and they don't all dress in black. A few mainstream psychoanalysts have been getting rather frustrated with those clients who just cannot get better and who seem to backslide, or whose issues seem vague and insurmountable. Yes, they have tried it all, going along with the traditional theories concerning personal responsibility and that we create our own sickness and all that. Healing fails to occur because it is easier to harm another than heal oneself. Vernon Howard. Humanity must perforce prey on itself, like monsters from the deep. William Shakespeare. Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying, "The one I shall kiss is the man. Seize him." Matthew 26. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all, for when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him, then burst his mighty heart. William Shakespeare, Julius Caesar. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Matthew 10. And when his 12 disciples were called together, he gave to them power of unclean spirits, to cast them out of men, and to heal every languor and sickness. Matthew 10. They that are not as I am made themselves like me. They that are unworthy of me made me angry. The wretches that belong not to the house of my father rose. They took arms against me. They rose. They took arms against me. Making war with me, making war with me. Fighting for my holy robe, for my enlightening light, that it might lighten their darkness. For my sweet fragrance, that it might sweeten their foulness. Because of my brethren, the sons of light, that they might give a peace to their land. Because of my sister, the hour of light, that she might be a strengthening of their building. The Manichaean Psalms of Thomas. Their webs shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hands. Isaiah 59. The reason I'm bringing this subject up is because it is extremely important that we have the knowledge of these people and entities, or it will seriously halt our progress and can even be a threat to our immediate lives. If nothing else, these vampires put deep scars in our souls that always need healing. So, bottom line is, when you notice that someone you are connected with constantly makes you feel uncomfortable and tired for no apparent reason, and things start to go wrong in your life, then take into consideration that this other person may be a psychic vampire. Sometimes the psychic vampire is not obvious, and it will take a while to stop them. Important, though, is to not go on a witch hunt and start accusing innocent people for being vampires. It doesn't help the situation. I am saying this because when somebody has been drained of energy for a long time, they have a tendency to become more or less paranoid, feeling like they are boxing shadows. The way to spot a vampire is to be aware of how you feel in the presence of a certain person. When you interact with them, do you feel empowered, neutral, or drained or depressed during the visit and/or afterwards? Is there somebody you are connected with who makes you feel intimidated, useless, ugly, or stupid? If so, that's your vampire. Still, before you decide who it is, always notice how you feel every time you connect with him or her, and afterwards, and how you feel when that person is not connected with you for a few days or longer. Never judge somebody just because they happen to act like one once or twice. That person could have a bad day or in their turn be in contact with a vampire. It's the recurrence that is the indicator. It's often hard to get rid of such people. They tend to hang on like parasites and are experts in pushing your buttons. They may cry and beg for you to stay, or they'll tell you that you can't live without them, that you need them for your survival. Often, after a traumatic argument or violent incident, they bring flowers and cry at the door. Some fall for this, especially when they have had this connection for a long time. The positive person has been so dependent upon the dominant vampire that she thinks she can't live without him. This, of course, is not true, and due to that the victim, although I don't like to use this word, is already weak from have had her slashes energies pulled, thinks the vampire is correct and chooses to stay in the bad situation. They often also feel sorry for the vampire, because these beings are experts in making you feel bad and not caring enough for them. They are also often super jealous. To stay connected with a person like that can be fatal for many reasons. One being that when your life energy is sucked out, your immune system will become depleted and you're prone to getting seriously ill. Why do vampires do this? Well, these people have a hard time creating their own energy because they don't know how to. So they need someone else, preferably someone with lots of positive energies, to feed their own energy. And they always feed out of fear. They create fear in the other person, and that fear is their life energy. Vampires have forgotten how to genuinely give something from their heart. Their heart chakra is hopelessly closed. They are disconnected from Prime Creator to the 10th degree, and when they do give, it's always with a "what's in it for me?" They are out of balance with their energy flows to the extreme. Many are also possessed by entities from the lower astral planes who use these human vehicles to feed off of your fear. As long as they can feed from someone else, they feel strong and vital. But when the victim is too low on energy, they may walk away as destructively as possible and choose a new victim. Or they have several victims whom they are working on at the same time. Whatever the case, if such person should be exposed and no longer is able to pull life energy out of somebody else, they would collapse and eventually die, unless they start on building their own energy by being more positively oriented and thus more in balance.